The story begins with a farmhouse in the middle of a mountainous area. Here, a man named Grady lives with his family. His wife, 2 children, and his brother Rudy also live on the same farm. Grady had gone hunting in the mountains with 3 of his friends, but 10 days had passed and he had not been seen. His other friends were also unknown. They had all disappeared. Grady's family had informed the local police. The police began a search operation, but they had to stop the operation midway due to the severity of the weather. It was a well-known fact about the mountains that once you go there, you never come back. In Grady's absence, his brother Rudy was taking care of all the household responsibilities. A man named Eddie, who was an old acquaintance of Grady, also lived near the farmhouse. Meanwhile, a personal conflict emerges in the story. Rudy and Grady's wife, Ellen, are having a secret affair, which Grady's eldest son has now discovered. That's why he's been distancing himself from Rudy. Trek, a close friend or family member of Rudy, suspects that Rudy doesn't want Grady back so he can maintain his relationship with Ellen. That's why he decides to find Grady himself, even though he has an injured leg and climbing in the mountains is not easy for him. But things take a turn for the worse before that. Within moments, we are shown that Grady has returned, but in such a state that he is unrecognizable. His face is yellow, his eyes are swollen, and his body is emaciated. He can't walk. The family carries him inside, staggering. A doctor is called, who tells him that Grady is very weak. It is a miracle that he survived after being hungry for so many days, and perhaps he ate something in the forest, which saved his life. But as soon as food is mentioned, Grady starts staring at his son with a strange and hungry look. The sight is so terrifying that the child is scared. That same night, a fight breaks out between Rudy and Grady. Grady gets angry and hits Rudy and threatens him to stay away from Alan. Rudy tries to convince him that you don't know the truth. Yet, it is better to spend time with your wife and take care of yourself. Inside the room, Ellen takes food for Grady, but Trek stops her and says, "I don't think it's Grady. Look at his eyes, like someone else has taken over his body." Just then, there's a loud crash, as if something has broken. They all run upstairs and see the food tray has fallen to the ground. Trek explains that Grady dropped the tray himself, even though he was screaming with hunger just moments before. When Ellen approaches Grady, he strangely sniffs her body and says, "You taste so delicious." Hearing these words from her mouth makes Ellen's hair stand on end. Now we are shown a flashback of Grady's true state, as if he is possessed by another being. At night, everyone goes to sleep, but in the middle of the night, there is a commotion in the farmhouse. A terrifying scream, the sound of something falling, and a commotion. Rudy goes outside and sees that his horse has been badly mauled. There are no animals or people around. But in the background, we see the shadow of Guard, who is staring at them all with a menacing smile. Eddie also hears the noise. He thinks it is the work of a beast, but his face is full of doubts. He goes to meet Guard and tells him an old story. "My uncles went to these same mountains when he was a child, and when he came back, he was just as weak as you. Then, they killed their whole family. The police shot them dead, otherwise they would have wiped out the whole village." Eddie adds, "I think you have the same spirit that came into you that my uncle had. It is eating you from the inside. It has taken away your soul." Grady suddenly straightens up and speaks in a terrifying tone. "She's in me. She's driving me now. She's swallowed my soul." Eddie, terrified, draws his pistol, but Grady says, "Do what you have to do. But remember, if you kill me, you'll spend the rest of your life in prison. And I was a good farmer, helping people." Eddie leaves in a panic and immediately tells Rudy the whole truth. The person inside the house is not Grady. There is someone else in his body now. Vindico's spirit had now completely entered. The kidney. It was a demonic spirit that lived in the mountains and possessed humans. This spirit was not only demonic, but also cannibalistic. It ate human flesh. Before the kidney attacked his family, Rudy advised the number that it had to be destroyed at any cost. Meanwhile, Kalina went to the car's room and saw that the food was still there. She was about to return home with the food when suddenly the kidney called out to her in its own voice. For a moment, Kalina thought that perhaps the demonic spirit had fallen asleep, and now the real kidney had returned. The kidney told her, "We went hunting in the mountains, but we lost our way. Took refuge in a cave. 4 people went out to get help but never returned. We were starving there. Then one day I heard a strange voice in my ear, saying that if I let him in, he would save me? It was actually Van Dyke's voice. To save his life, the kidney agreed. And at that moment, the spirit entered his body. After being possessed by the spirit, the kidney killed his companion and ate his flesh. He killed my friend and ate him, too. The kidney told Kalina all this while crying, then warned, "This spirit still wants more prey." Kalina got scared after hearing all this and started running away from there, but the kidney suddenly appeared in front of her, grabbed her by the throat. Spit was dripping from his mouth as if he was ready to eat Kalina. At that moment, Rudy came from behind, pointed a gun at the kidney. Seeing this, the kidney became very angry. He started screaming and started breaking things in the room. Kalina, the children, and Rudy to save their lives. They were about to leave the house when Odd arrived. He had made up his mind that he would die today after killing the kidney. He went upstairs telling everyone to save his sister. Break, Odd's younger brother, was forbidding them from killing the kidney, saying, "He is our dead. We must save his life," to which Kalina slapped him hard and said, "Do you think this is your dad? Look at his condition. He is no longer that human." Everyone left the house. Odd went up, but Gondry suddenly stabbed him and killed him. Rudy came in with a gun, Kalina hugged him, and he also went inside. There he found Odd's body. Filled with anger, he reached Gondra's room, but Gondra was lying innocently on the bed. Rudy felt sorry, but as soon as he bent down, Gondry attacked him. Kalina took the children out of the window and hid them, but Gondry came chasing after them. With him, he also brought Gondra's body and took Gondra to the kitchen. "Cook him," Gondra said angrily. "Cook Gondra's meat." Kalina refused, so Gondry slapped him hard. At that moment, Break came to save him, but Kidney attacked him first. Kalina, in order to seduce Kidney, cut Rudy's body into pieces, put the meat in a bowl, and prepared soup. Break started loading the gun secretly from behind. When the soup was ready, Kalina placed it in front of Kidney. He started eating like crazy. Then he forced Kalina to eat too. At that moment, a bullet went out of Break's gun. Kidney's attention was drawn to it. Kalina made an excuse and supported him. Kidney accused, "I am in this condition because of you two." Then he attacked Kalina, but Break fired in time. Kidney was injured and ran away from there. Kalina was also injured. Break went to save the team, but Kidney attacked him again from behind. "We have to be together now. Do you know where?" "In my stomach." His eyes had turned white. Now he was just Van Deco. Brack shot him and knocked him down. Everyone thought it was all over now, but Guard grabbed Brack from behind again. He was about to die when Kalina came. He put a gun in Guard's mouth and shot him in the brain. Guard died, but strange sounds were still echoing in the house. Is Van Dyke really over, or is there still more to the story?